What is up, guys? Mixed Martial Idiots podcast. We are back again. We are recapping UFC 316 in Newark, New Jersey. Did Sean O'Malley lay a freaking egg, or is Marab just unbeatable? We'll get into that. As always, we have Tanner Francisco Dunphy. I guess he's good at jiu-jitsu. And then the MMA superfan, George Novo. What is up, fellas?
Man, I had a lot of people asking me that same question on O'Malley today, like a lot. And well, we'll get into it. But
Right.
man, this was a good card. This was a solid card. Uh, not a lot of
Yeah,
disappointment in it.
there's only a one big patchy area I think on the card.
Oh, oh my God.
Yeah, Patchy
I would
Mix
say
cost me like $1,400.
I
Yeah.
would say that and Joe Pfeiffer, man. Jeez.
You just
You
hate
called
that
it,
guy,
Tan,
bud.
man. You called it.
You can't stand that boy.
Look, that it was rough. All right. I don't understand how Joe won the fight. I think it should have been a draw, but anyways, let's start off at the beginning of this card. With the first fight, it was at 155. Markel Medeiros defeated Mark Choinsky via unanimous decision. What do you got on this one, Will?
I mean, Markel Medeiros is a guy that we highlighted as he came off the Contender Series. We highlighted his first fight in the UFC, said this is a guy to look out for. He's slick. Oh no, I just killed Midoriya. He'll be fine. He's got slick movement. He attacks from both sides. He's bistatial, if you will. He's got really good boxing. I think he plays with his freaking food too much, bud. I think if you're that much better than the other guy, then you just need to go out there and get it freaking done. And he was trying to get the bonus, or he was trying to put on a show too much, i.e. Joe Pfeiffer. Joe Pfeiffer saw his first punch drop Kelvin Gastelum, and that ruined him for the rest of the fight. Same kind of thing happened with Medeiros. He got success early, and then he just wanted to highlight the guy. And shout out to his opponent, man. He was a tough guy. He stayed in there the whole time. He even had moments where he was super successful. So good fight. I hope Medeiros learns to just take the kill shot when he's in your sights and not just play with your food the whole time. It's going to haunt him one of these times.
Or not just, hunt the kill, not just hunt one hitter quitter, That becomes an issue when you're just looking for that knockout.
For sure.
Yeah. What do you got, George?
Right.
Medeiros is the Grim Reaper at Cavs, man. Choinsky is his latest victim. This wasn't a fight. It was a PSA for announcement for shin guards. Choinsky's probably limping to the airport wondering if Uber does wheelchairs. Medeiros is climbing the lightweight ladder, but like you guys highlighted, the guys only get better from here. If he tried that with somebody seasoned, and let them off the hook that many times, it probably ain't going to go his way. So whoever he fights next, he needs to lock the hell in. Otherwise, he's going to stay kind of where he's at in fights, But definitely, what can you say? He's chopping that tree down. I think there were several times in that fight that he could have finished it and didn't. I don't know about you. If you got a guy like that instantly hits the deck when you kick his leg, it's just in pain, just walk over and keep punching him.
Yeah. George had the misfortune of being in the garage with me the whole time watching it last night, and Medeiros was being technically incorrect in a lot of areas, and I'm just lashing him as it's happening. So it sometimes throughout last night, George was kind of sick of me. I could tell, but I can't help it.
It was hilarious. I wish I would have been taking a video. Who's the fight that you were screaming at the TV to punch the guy? Oh, it was Waldo. We was like, dude, his stomach is the size of a pig. It's like right here, just punch there, and wouldn't do it. It was hilarious. Like if we could have posted that on the page, you guys would have died. It was driving Will crazy.
I'm a
You should-
psychopath. I'm
You should have
sorry.
grabbed that one. Oh man. Next up, another 55er. Quillen Salkalid defeated Yanal Ashmus via unanimous decision. What do you got on this one, Will?
Okay, last week we were talking about Quinlan being just a gunslinger. And then I brought up a point his teammates said that his best attribute is actually his grappling. And you could tell that Osmush came out and that was what he wanted to do. And he was successful for probably the first minute until Quillen was like, fuck this, dude. I'm going to grapple you back. And he just proceeded to put it on Ash Moose. Ash Moose got well, never mind. Anyway, Ash Moose didn't make it 3 rounds without getting beat up the whole time, dude. Quillen put on a grappling clinic. He was riding the hips. He was chasing the head. He was punching to make Ash Moose change positions. What a great fight for a guy who's primarily known as a powerful striker to go out there and absolutely put on a grappling clinic. Another one of those guys from Perth, Western Australia. And fun fact, Ash Moose's coach was Habib Nurmagomedov's first ever MMA head coach.
Okay. What you got, George?
Oh man, dude. The Australian. This fight was so one-sided. It felt like he was practicing for a video game combo. Like it was crazy. It looked like somebody just spamming transitions on the ground. Oh, I'm just gonna roll this way now. Oh, you're trying to get up? Okay, I'll just switch to that hip. All right. Oh, we're doing this now. Now I'm gonna sweep and maintain control. It was just textbook. I could not believe how fluid he was in transitions on the ground. Like, you know, a lot of guys you see try to like brute force it, and you could tell they're wearing themselves out just as much as the guy trying to get up. And you could tell with him, with just the control, he was letting him just tear his own gas tank up to pieces trying to get up. And he was like, all right, cool. That was nice to see. That's smooth. If you're gonna take a fight to a decision, do it like that. I was entertained the whole time. There was never a point in that fight where I was like, dude, they're just laying there. I know, I get it. You guys are tired. Damn. You know, I mean, this was really good. I look forward to his next fight.
Speaking of next fights, holy shit. At 45, Juice saying you with a big left hook, knocking out Jeka Sorga. What the shit? 28 seconds into round 1. What do you got, Will? I can't hear Will.
Yeah, I can't hear Will either.
Uh-oh.
Oh man, I was on fire. Damn it. That sucks. Anyway, this kid this kid's got that touch of death, right? He's got that Conor McGregor shutting off Aldo in one shot, that Anthony Johnson touching dudes and sending their teeth into the first round. Tanner said that, you know, he loaded the shot up and put it on him. I challenged, look at the tape. He floated that hip back and away from him.
It was
so the hip was
beautiful.
pinned in such a way he couldn't even pull the shoulder to get power. He just fell back and chucked it perfectly on dude's chin and turned his head sideways, a la Roy Jones Jr. When Roy Jones used to catch those guys crashing into him, the hook didn't even look like it landed hard. It didn't. It was just perfect, and the guy never saw it coming. This kid's special, man. He's got that touch of death.
Yeah, I agree. What do you got, George?
Oh man, this is like every single one of those old monster movies in Japan. Oh shit, it's Godzilla. No, it's this dude's left hook and his right hand. Oh my god. This kid,
No need for that.
if you
right
could
hand.
do that, I mean, how many strikers have we seen, especially at that weight, have that kind of power just to be like, it's over if I hit you?
Oh,
I mean, the
man.
division's wide open because we say it all the time. It only takes one. even a guy, if you're fighting Marab, if you're fighting Sean Brady, if you're fighting, Kamaru, any of that, any of those grapplers can get it in just a lucky shot coming in.
True.
I feel bad for this dude's next fight. Holy cow.
Oh, he's getting
Yeah.
somebody top 15
I think the
for
most
sure.
impressive thing about it, right? I think the most impressive thing about it is not the power, because dude was running at him. So it kind of ups the odds of you getting slept when you sprint at a person. I think what made it so freaking impressive is the dude looked like he was strolling through the garden on a Saturday morning. Like it was no problem at all, just super calm. He put those top 2 knuckles, like your boxing coach tells you to do, right on the target. No panic, just the fluidity and the way he did that so calm. That's what was so beautiful. Anybody can hit you hard, but if a dude can hit you perfectly and snap you, that's dangerous. That's special, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, the way he dropped stiff as a board, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, just instantly asleep. Like that shot after he was down was just not even needed. It was
Nope.
over.
Oh God.
And
That's how he
that
forgets
earned
the 4th grade. Like first you get knocked
Ooh.
out and then you lose a core memory.
That's
yeah,
like Poets on at 145 pounds. Like what?
it's
50. Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
it's 50K worthy, and that's what he got for that fight, for knockout of the night.
He probably feels like Adam Sandler, like Happy Gilmore.
Wait till he sits on a punch.
I'm just gonna try to get it in the
Right?
hole every time on one shot. That's easy.
That's what I was thinking. Wait till it sits on a
Just
right.
wait until you see him sit down on a punch. Like, oh my God. You might see somebody's head turn into a gusher.
Man. Can we move on to the next fight here? Because, man, I want to talk about how Kong Wang beat up Ariana Lipski da Silva. And after da Silva missed weight by 7 pounds, Kong Wang is an absolute animal in the striking. What do you got on that one, Will?
Man, that weight miss was massive. It's a situation where like you're hitting somebody, your punches won't have the same effect as they always do, but it didn't bother Wang Kong at all. Kong Wang, however you say it. It didn't bother her
Yeah.
at all. The Joker, that's what I'm going to call it.
The Joker.
It didn't bother her whatsoever. She just kept putting them together. She even wore shots from Da Silva. She wore shots that girls don't just wear. She stood there she's got so much experience. She beat Valentina Shevchenko in a kickboxing match. So to stand there toe to toe with her was the worst thing Lipski could have done. Lipski da Silva, excuse me. And the Joker is going to be a nightmare for a lot of those girls in that weight class. She hits too damn hard. If you don't miss weight by 7 freaking pounds, those punches are going to be a lot different when they land. And yeah, just look for her, man. She's going to be in your parlays in the future as KO or to finish and not just the money line.
Mm-hmm. What do you got, George?
Oh man, she had Da Silva's dreams of a comeback, man, where karate kick to the Shadow Realm. I think Kong's out there looking at Shevchenko's belt like it's a new toy, man. I think she's out there kind of like Smeagol, grumbling about Precious. It's gonna get real spicy over there.
I think you're right. I think Kong
It's going to run
needs
into a Virna
to,
Jandiroba.
yes, I think Kong needs to run into somebody in that top 15. All right.
sure.
Next up, bout number 5. At welterweight, we had the man wearing the first ever debut patch on his trunks, Andreas Gustafsson, defeating Chaos Williams in
Boo.
a tough. This was a tough debut fight, man. I'll give Gus that credit. It not that great of a fight, but that's a hell of a debut. You're gonna throw Chaos Williams to him? Damn. What do you got, Will?
Man, Gustafson made sweet love to Chaos Williams on the fence for 3 rounds, bud. He eventually got Chaos down, and it got even worse for him. But this is how you physically drown a man, honestly. All jokes aside, you sap their energy out of them. Now, the whole time I'm watching this fight, all I could think is I want to see this Gustafsson dude fight Colby Covington because this guy looks like the upgraded version of Colby Covington. I really don't have anything on the fight other than just to make the point that he made sweet love to Chaos Williams on the fence for 15 minutes. So
He
there's
looks
that.
more it's gonna sound fucked. He looks more white supremacist than Colby Covington.
So then Colby would actually be the good guy in this scenario. You want this as a
Right.
Colby fan.
Right. If you're a Colby fan,
Yep, we make Colby a hero, right? He's the good guy now. Oh,
what
it's
do you
too
got,
perfect.
George?
Man. Maybe this was Marab in cosplay warming up for the O'Malley fight.
It
I
could
mean,
have been.
'cause this dude looked like his cardio was insane. I was like, how is this guy just like constant forward
It was
grab,
actually-
forward grab, forward grab? I'm like, oh my god, like just hit him. And this guy was like, I'm just gonna let him keep grabbing me.
It was actually two Marabs in a human suit
Yes,
stacked on each other.
yeah, good for you. Good lord for the next person. If the next person is a bad grappler, it's not good time for you.
Yes. Oh man,
20 years Greco-Roman wrestling.
that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, get that to the floor. You stand a better chance doing jiu-jitsu with them than you do being on that fence.
Yep.
We know
next
this.
up,
Hashtag Derek Ford.
yeah. Yes. Next up at heavyweight,
Waldo.
Waldo Cortez Acosta defeated Sergey Spivak via unanimous decision. I don't really agree with that, man. I was thinking Waldo was going to win this fight, and I feel like Sergey kind of got robbed there in the end. I feel like Waldo just wasn't doing as much in my eyes, but that's my opinion. It was kind of close. What do you got on that one, Will?
Yeah, I think Waldo ran away with the first round, honestly, and surprised Sergey. I think
Yeah.
Sergey came out the second round with the right approach. He was
Oh
in his
my
base, and I
God.
think that he got. I would say that he did win the next two rounds, Sergey Spivak. But
The third was
we
close.
know some of these guys come from like boxing. The third was close. Yeah, you can ask George. We didn't know. It was back and forth in the garage. We didn't have a clue. Waldo went away from the things that made him successful in that first round. Guys,
Right.
if you are landing with power, that's a fucking luxury. That's not required. That's not something that is mandatory in the situation. That's a luxury. What you are required to do is fight behind a jab from the first bell to the last bell. You throw so many jabs, you think you've thrown too many fucking jabs, and then you throw 5 more jabs. That's what you need to be doing. All right? A leg kick in there sporadically. You kick the inside of the leg, the outside of the leg. Waldo was doing that. He even started on Rocky Shores there. Sergey put him on notice quick. Then Waldo cracks him, starts fighting a beautiful fight, and then just kind of started headhunting. Guys, don't do that. If you want to be successful, stick to your game plan that your coaches coach you in. Fight behind your jab. Excuse me. And Waldo could have knocked Sergey out if he would have just fought a complete fight instead of headhunting. Yeah, only like 3 or 4 times did he attack the liver or throw that straight right to the body. If you are shorter than your opponent and your opponent stands straight up, just like Sergey Spivak was standing, throw that backhand, throw that cross as hard as you can, right at their belly button. Just right at their belly button. It's going to change the way this fight is going. Throw that left hook behind it, right to the liver. He's going to have to come down and block his body, or he will voluntarily shut down. He won't have any choice behind it. Then you attack the chin. That's what Waldo was doing. Then he started headhunting, and he started driving me freaking crazy. At the end of the third round, he landed a liver shot that was there for the entirety of the fight. Waldo I'm glad you made it through it. That's good experience. I think Sergey got robbed. Tough to know what's up for Sergey after that because this guy either does something spectacular or he shits the bed. So,
Man, Waldo Cortez, like you were saying, just go to the body. Dude had his hands up the whole time. It was right there. That same little jab, that little jab you were trying to pepper his face with to set up the other hand, just throw it to the body. That dude would have been over. He would have doubled over, and then you would have been able to hit the power shot when he leaned it forward. Like, ow, you hurt my stomach. I'm gonna lean forward. Now you can uppercut me into Mars. But whatever. Um, this was kind of bad. This was like Debo taking the bike. He kind of stole dude's fucking ranking and just left and his lunch money. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Next up, 205. Azamat Mirzakhanov defeated Brandon Ribeiro in round 1 with a big old left hook and then some follow-up strikes to the ground. And what do you got on that one, Will?
Yeah. Azamat made me look silly on this one. Brandon Ribeiro. He came out on fire, dude. He was throwing the kicks he needed to throw. He was keeping him back, and then he kind of connected and then was like, why the fuck is this guy not going anywhere? Then he kind of did the same thing that Waldo Cortez Acosta did, but he didn't get away with it, all right? He kind of went to set on it. He kind of went to set on a bunch of stuff, and Azamat was just way better than him, way faster, attacked on that straight plane, knows how to put his combinations together, and knows what to do when he hurts a person. Brandishin, I don't know what to say, man. You looked good until you didn't. That's a tough night at the office. Azamat, yeah, I don't. We need to get somebody out there that can throw something up the middle on this guy because he's a blitzkrieg.
Yeah. What do you got, George?
Man, Mirzakhanov's fists are so scary. They're banned in 12 countries, man. Ribeiro's chin just became a statistic. It's just like watching a fight. It's like a public execution. I think Ribeiro was probably booking a one-way ticket back to Brazil while this dude's gonna be calling out John Jones for a sparring session. Spoiler, he'd probably win. Next up, our buddy, the minivan.
Yes, Joshua Minivan getting it done at 125 in round 3. TKO and Bruno Silva. What do you got, Will?
Well, I'm not going to call him the minivan anymore. He calls himself the Fearless, and hopefully we get famous enough to one day start meeting these guys and getting interviews from him. And I don't want him to fuck me up if he doesn't want to be called the minivan because he could fuck me up. That dude was throwing hammers the whole time. Bruno had his moments, man. Bruno came out there. He came to win. He was taking big shots, getting back up. He was engaging. Joshua Van's boxing's just on another level. I said last week, if you're going to stand there and get in a boxing match with Joshua Van, you're going to get fucked up. And Bruno got fucked up. There's just nowhere to go. He closes with the jab until he gets you to forget about protecting your body. And he goes to the body. All right, Waldo, put some Joshua Van tape on and learn how to attack a fucking liver. Jiminy Christmas. He gets your hands to drop, and then he just keeps the combination going. He'll throw a 4-piece combination 6, 7 times. Just sticks with it. He gets his head movements good enough to get away with it. And then the 8th or 9th time, he'll throw a 5th or a 6th punch in the same combination in a different sequence. He's just phenomenal. I just love to see what he does on the inside the pocket. His takedown defense is world fucking class. Bruno got him dead to rights down and right back up. Joshua Van makes it a priority to get up. He doesn't try to re-engage in the grappling in any other way but standing up. As a fan like George Novo, who doesn't want to see any of that shit, that's your guy to watch. I just think all systems are go for Joshua Van. What a great fight. Sorry, Bruno Silva, you went 13 minutes with the guy just to get fucking folded at the end. That sucks.
What do you got on that one, George?
Oh, man, Joshua Van, he was zipping around like a fly on Red Bull, and Silva was swinging like he's in a bar brawl. This fight was so action packed, it made Fast and the Furious look like a Sunday drive. The only thing that sucks for Van is his
Whoa.
bonus streak took a nap, but his stock is through the roof. Silva's probably still chasing Van's shadow.
Yeah, Silva probably hasn't been allowed to go to bed yet.
Probably not. Yeah. They're still monitoring him.
He just got Toretto.
He's got
It
a
was
flashlight
wild.
in his face. Oh, fuck.
So that was a featured bout in the prelims. Next up, the first fight on the main card, Kevin Holland tapping out Vicente Luque in round 2 with an anaconda choke. He trapped the legs. He shot to trap the legs as soon as he grabbed the grip. He got one of them trapped, and Vicente couldn't clear it to get away. And that was that. He had to tap. What do you got on that one, Will?
Dude, it was awesome, but also fuck Kevin Holland for this. What happens every time Kevin Holland does something dope as shit? He takes some last minute fight and he gets fucking strangled by somebody who's like a gold medalist in some kind of sambo or fucking whatever. You know what I mean? So I hope what he said in the post fight interview was true. He's dedicating himself to 170.
Yes.
He's dedicating himself to being an athlete. I hope all that's true because goodness fucking gracious. He ran right through Vicente Luque. Vicente Luque got a single leg to start the fight. Kevin Holland hit him with a 25 piece.
Oh my
And
God.
like a gentleman, Vicente Luque set his leg right back on the mat and was like, you know what?
Mhm.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you felt that strongly about me touching your legs. I won't do that again.
Let's just
Right?
stand up and
And
do
then-
this.
Right. Yeah. I guess this is a sensitive area for you. But anyway, yeah, Ponzinibbio found out by getting knocked the fuck out. So I thought that was going to happen. Every one of those shots he hit Vicente Luque with sounded like some dude hitting free pads, like in a gym
Yeah.
where no one's working out. It was disgusting.
It was
And he
rough.
beat him up so bad that he made Vicente shoot in the second round. Vicente is like, fuck it. I guess we got to go to that single leg thing because if I keep standing up here, I'm going to wake up in the back.
Uh-huh.
He got him, dude. That Darce choke, same thing he got Michael Chiesa with. I hope he's not going to blue ball us, man. I hope he doesn't get some fight with some fucking some Roman Dolidze or some shit again. And then knock himself one more step down. All right. Take the smart fights, get up there. Cause I think he fucks up Bilal Muhammad in a fight. I think a lot of those guys who wouldn't want to see him and Carlos Prates go at it. I know I say Carlos Prates a lot because he's so fun, but that one's fucking fun right there. You put Kevin Holland and Carlos Prates in a cage every Saturday night and people will pay for it every weekend. So
Yeah.
the
That's
sky's the
fair.
limit for the dude if he fucking dedicates himself. Who doesn't want to see him and Ian Gary? I mean, I could go on all night about matchups for Kevin Holland.
Oh, by the way, Kevin Holland got a 50K performance bonus as well. So
Fuck yeah, he did.
money, getting paid. What do you got on
That
that one,
money's
George?
gone though.
Yeah.
Kevin's trash talk was A+, but his defense was F-. This is like watching a ninja choke out a TikTok star. Luque's back, and Holland's probably still tweeting excuses from the locker room. Yeah. Like you said, Will, you literally said verbatim what you just commented about him before, is that he'll take 2 steps forward and 1 step back every time. So yeah, like you said, I hope he goes in there, watches a whole bunch of Rocky, runs through the streets of Philly, does all that shit, something.
I hope he just takes a fucking sensible fight and doesn't jump on the next grenade that he's offered. Is all I'm saying. Like,
I hope that
don't
too.
save a card against like a fucking Sean Brady. Don't do it.
Yeah,
don't
no.
do that. Please don't do that.
Work
Go
your
in
way
there-
up 170.
Go
You're
in there and
good.
just fight the next guy. Colby Covington works.
I don't know about
Yeah,
that one.
just do that. Fight Buckley again. That'd be cool.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah.
He beats up Colby, bro.
Probably now. Yeah, probably. Yeah. You're right. Next up at 135, somebody who we have to give them their flowers finally. Mario Batista beat Patchy Mix via unanimous decision. It seemed to me that Mario's speed really fucking caught Patchy off guard to the point where Patchy just wasn't throwing much. Patchy wasn't doing shit. What do you got on that one, Will?
Well, he was doing one thing, and he was catching every motherfucking right hand that Mario Bautista threw with his face.
Eating.
He was catching every single one of those with his nose and his mouth. And real quick, Mario Bautista, that version of you, if that's what would have fought Jose Aldo, nobody would be pissed off at you, and you would have had a chance to win. You look fucking phenomenal. Where was that guy at? That dude is a murderer. Holy shit. Patchy Mix beat a lot of great dudes, man. Patchy
know what
Mix
that is?
a 5-round fighter. The UFC jitters are real. What's that?
That's him being smart, man. I wouldn't fight Jose Aldo standing. Fuck that. Why? So he could possibly tear my leg the fuck up? Look, he gets a lot of
for
hate
sure,
for
for
it,
sure, for
but
sure, for sure.
I totally get
I
it.
know, and a lot of
I
us would have
get
done the
it,
same.
man.
Yeah, for sure. We talk about starting with a singlet on a lot of times, and Jose Aldo is one that you're fucking warranted to do that with. But man, Bautista, dude, Patchy Mix is the opposite end of the spectrum when it comes to the threats. You don't want to go in there and just shoot on Patchy Mix. You want to go in there and put on a kickboxing clinic and not get grabbed, and that's what he did. Great job, Mario Bautista.
Yeah. You got George.
Man, there's a whole lot of thoughts and stuff that I've texted and thought about saying about this dude because he if some of my parlays were boats, they're in Davy Jones' locker because of this fucker. I think what he found out was that there's levels to this shit, and this is a different level. So I hope he goes back to the drawing board and maybe breaks out some Dance Dance Revolution and learns how to move. You don't stand out there like concrete in front of somebody and just take it. Like, you got the reach on this dude. You had the reach. Why didn't you fight from behind your jab? Throw some leg kicks. I mean, damn, you didn't just have
Fight
to
it
stay
all?
there and be like, wow, he's fast. Wow, he's
Mhm.
fast. You could have at least did something.
Yeah,
Again,
and
It
to
was losing
not
her
to
mind
like
in that corner.
not to like give him too much leg to stand on here, but Max Holloway, and again, not to compare Bautista to Max Holloway because he's not him, but Bautista took the Max Holloway, Nick Diaz approach, that volume approach. George, sometimes, even if you're not getting hurt, you just can't figure a motherfucker out when he's constantly got something in your face. And Bautista mixed good technique in, very good technique, very elite level technique in with the volume principle. So it was really good to watch. He deserves his flowers. Tanner's right. Sorry
yeah,
for shitting on you, Bautista.
I'm not taking anything from him. What just surprises me is someone that has MMA experience. Like that response
Right,
Yeah.
was
right, right.
No,
not
same.
from someone that has had a
Right.
fight.
Patchy
before.
Mix beat Sergio Pettis.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It was
Right.
just
Patchy
odd.
Mix has a win over
It
Sergio
was a
Pettis.
very odd response. I agree 100%. Yeah, it was surreal. It was like, what are you doing, Patchy?
I wonder if he kind of had the same thing that happened with O'Malley. If maybe something happened to
No.
him.
No,
If-
O'Malley, it's completely different in my eyes. In my eyes.
I mean, I'm just asking. I don't know. Like maybe, you know what I mean? I don't know.
O'Malley
got
was still
Tony
trying
Ferguson.
to crack, maybe, but O'Malley was still trying to crack Marab and take Marab's head off as much as he could. Patchy wasn't. Patchy wasn't doing shit. He wasn't trying to strike Mario. He
also-
wasn't trying to move his head off center
What's
line.
that record? Was this another Coker guy?
Yep. Oh man.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yep.
Scott's
Bro,
dead. Scott,
Can we get a
Scott Coker's
graphic?
only
dead
one
Can we
that's
get a
won
somewhere.
their-
graphic on this?
He's gotta be dead
Wah,
somewhere.
wah, 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 wah.
The only legend that he had win their debut was Chandler against Hooker, and then Chandler's done Chandler since then. But the one like Pitbull and fucking this Apache mix, dude. I think that the Dana White and the UFC effect is real. I think these guys get those shorts on, they go out there in that cage, and it's unlike any other promotion in the world. It's you're instantly a superstar as soon as you're booked on one of those cards. And it not only like it'd be better for Patchy Mix if he was going in there without all those accolades and no one knew who the fuck he was. He was going in there as Patchy fucking Mix, the dude that did all that shit in Bellator and whooped everybody's ass. And you gotta win. You gotta go in there and perform, or you're not Patchy fucking Mix anymore, right? That's what's in his mind. And then Mario Bautista showed up and said, "This is my house, dude. You're not gonna shit on me. I'm number 10 in the world." And then we see what a UFC level athlete at number 10 in his weight class did against a perennial champion in Bellator. The UFC is bar none the highest talent pool in the world.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Next up, Joe Piper squeaked out a decision against Kelvin Gastelum at 185. Man, he definitely won that first round, and he could have got a 10-8 on that first round. I thought he might have had 10-8 on that first round. And then the second round, I think Kelvin won that second round. And then the third round, who fucking knows? Who knows? But I was leaning towards Kelvin.
See, I thought
So I was expecting a draw. I can see Joe Piper, but that's not the performance Joe Piper. Let me rephrase that. That is the performance Joe Piper wants, but that's not the decision he needs. He needed to kill Kelvin. He needed to put him 6 feet down, and he was close. He was close. It seemed like it. And then Kelvin said, "Ah, I had a Medell before this. I'm Mexican, and I have a center block on my shoulders." And then got up every time. What do you got, Will?
when you are fighting someone and you have anything for free, anything, you get any advantage for free, and you don't take it the entirety of the time, you're an idiot. Like Joe Piper had access to that leg kick and that body kick 100% of the fight in the open stance, and he had access to that right hand to the body, for the entirety of the fight. Bigger guy, longer guy, had the teep available to him, but he started headhunting. When he landed early, it was flowy. And I say this to my guys all the time. If you go back and you watch the greatest strikers that ever did it, and the Anderson Silvas, the Izzies, the Connors, Aldo in his prime, stuff like that, even like Dan Henderson, these guys had one thing in common. They didn't force the shots that knocked all these people out. They weren't like pushing this shot through just to throw it in there. It was flowy. Anderson Silva was notorious to give you the first round so he could get all your reads. When he cracked dudes, it was just poetry. It was flowing. Nothing was like planted on, bit down on the mouthpiece and chucked in there and knocked the dude out. That's not how he rolled. That's not how the greatest do it. Joe Piper was doing that after he landed, and the time it takes you to grit that mouthpiece, cock that hand back, change your level, and then chuck that shot, the guy's out of the way. So Kelvin early didn't have the timing from Joe, and he ate those. But when he had Joe's timing later on, Joe couldn't get that shot off, and he was swinging wild. You guys tell on yourself. You got to catch somebody flowing. Do you think that Kelvin Gastelum, even having a cinder block for a head, could have taken 60 significant strikes in 15 minutes? No. He only took, 30, 20 significant strikes throughout the entire fight, and he got dropped with 3 of them. So a guy like a Joe Piper, a guy like a Waldo Cortez Acosta, they need to put the pride and the wanting to get that one hitter quitter, and they need to lock that shit in a box and throw it in the fucking ocean. Because one thing that we hear from the great Chael Sonnen, and I find it to be absolutely true, is if you spend the entire fight looking for the knockout, you will absolutely lose the decision. These guys got lucky and won their decisions. That won't happen in the future, and or you will get knocked the fuck out because you will let a guy off the hook, which almost happened to Joe Pyfer at the end of the fight. A credit to Kelvin Gastelum. He is a legit OG, man, and I've been a fan his whole career, but there's no reason that Kelvin should have been in this fight in the 15-minute mark when he was left flat on his ass at the 1-minute mark. It's a tactical error for Joe Pyfer. If he fights somebody real good next fight, he might be in trouble. Was fun to watch though.
Yeah. What do you got, George?
Yeah, this was a dogfight. But I don't know. I kind of expected. It almost felt like either one of these guys just wanted to want it more. That it kind of felt like the battle of wills kind of canceled each other out. It didn't seem like anybody particular had just that ruthless aggression to pursue a finish. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. I wasn't disappointed per se. I just would have liked to see something more definitive from either guy. Hopefully their next fight they go out there and make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More
Well,
decisive, rather.
hopefully Kelvin is coming towards the end of his fight career.
Yeah, I don't want to see him get beat up anymore.
No, it's not fun to watch. Anyways, moving on.
No, and that's not what we're here to see.
No, it's not. No. But you know what we are here to see? Kayla Harrison.
People get their arms ripped off.
Oh my goodness. Kayla Harrison getting it done in the co-main event, getting that 135-pound strap taken away from Juliana Pena, getting the submission round 2, Kimura. I mean, good Lord. She made her hand go past her shoulder going behind her. That was terrifying. Absolutely. What? Blech. No. Mm-mm. Also, performance of the night, 50K bonus to Kayla Harrison there. We got to talk about something. She is in discussion for greatest women's combat sports athlete of all time. And I think if she wins in the next fight against Amanda Nunes, she has it. All right. I think in my eyes, Amanda Nunes obviously is in that. She's the MMA GOAT for sure, right? And she's in the
Yes.
discussion for combat sports just on that alone, right? Women's combat sports GOAT.
Oh yeah.
But I have to put Holly Holm
She
above
knocked
her.
out Cyborg too.
Yes. I have to put Holly Holm above her just because Holly Holm, kickboxing and boxing champion and MMA champion. I'm saying
She
in
killed that woman.
I know, but I'm saying in my list of women's combat sports goats. Just overall
Didn't she
combat
kill her
sports.
during combat?
Hear me out. Overall combat sports. Because she has different different titles in
Boxing and
different,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
exactly. And
Yeah, I
Kayla
understand.
Harrison, I'm putting her in the same category because she has an Olympic gold medal in judo. And then on top of that, she also has world titles in other big organizations. So now she's completed that thing there by getting the UFC strap, and I think she's in discussion for GOAT of women's combat sports, not just women's MMA.
Okay. How many times did Amanda Nunes? And I don't know. This is Amanda Nunes defended that both those titles several times. But anyway, this is Kayla Harrison's moment. And what I thought was cool, jiu-jitsu coach Tanner, was the setup for the Kimura. She beat her up the whole first round. I mean, and how good did her striking look? Kayla Harrison came, and it was the best striking from Kayla Harrison I had ever seen. I'm telling George in the garage, you could definitely tell that she trains with Dakota Ditcheva every day. Shout out dangerous Dakota Ditcheva. Because did she not look great on the feet, Tanner? Do you think she looked way
She
improved?
did. She did.
She was throwing switch kicks. She was throwing fucking lead hand uppercuts to an overhand. I mean, that's some high level shit. Finishing with hooks on most any of the kicks. But where she shines is definitely the grappling. That judo's phenomenal. That top game is phenomenal. I love how she was using that sneaky little bait to go to mount to get Juliana to unbury that arm so she could snatch the Kimura. She was using that Von Flue at first, kind of that Von Flue grip to kind of be
Yeah, it was very
uncomfortable.
nice.
Popped her. Yes, she popped the head out. She got that far side wrist control, and then Penna kind of was hit privy to it, and she like buried that arm. And then Kayla Harrison pinned the hip, and she made the feeling like she was going to mount. Thus, Pena had to pull the arm and try to isolate the hips for mount defense, and Kayla just used that as a setup to catch the Kimura. And it was catch and break. There was no catch struggle, turn to the it was catch, and that fucking arm was gone. Juliana lost that arm.
Yep.
She's a soldier for staying in it as long as she did, man. Because it was on and rocking from the second that she got that grip, and Penna was in it for a hot minute. She tapped. The good thing for her, because we could have had another Frank Mir Minotauro Noguera situation where Minotauro got that spiral fracture in the octagon.
Oh,
But it would have been way worse because Pena was pinned up against that fence and there was no roll through coming for that shit. She's just gonna get her arm ripped off. Yeah,
I thought
Kayla Harrison,
thought it
best
was.
combat sports athlete, dude. She's got 2 judo gold medals. She got a PFL championship. I think if she beats, I think you're right. If she beats Nunes, she takes it. Let's look at all the wins that Nunes has. She got in a boxing match with Chris Cyborg and knocked her the fuck out. She got in a kickboxing fight with Holly Holm and kicked her in the head and knocked her out. She beat the hell out of Ronda Rousey, wasn't even close. She beat Jermaine Durandame. She beat Megan Anderson. She beat Shevchenko twice. I'm putting Nunes ahead. I think it goes Nunes number 1, probably Chris Cyborg number 2. And right now, as it stands, Kayla Harrison is number 3. But if Kayla Harrison sleeps, or if she finishes Amanda Nunes, then she automatically leaps over Cyborg. Automatically. Because of the way Nunes beat these women. Because you remember, we were sitting right next to each other when she knocked Cyborg the fuck out, and we were like, we couldn't speak. Remember when she fell forward and we thought she killed her?
Crazy.
And then
But you're talking about an MMA all-time list, right?
Yes. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about combat sports all time.
I
I'm
don't
putting
feel
Amanda
like you
higher
can
than
put
her.
I don't feel like you can put Cyborg at number 2. I mean, you have people like Clarissa Shields you got to throw in this list.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
that's fair. But I don't think so because Clarissa, like, MMA to me is king when it comes to these because we've seen the boxers. Yes, we always see like an older fucking retired MMA guy box a boxer and not do well. Not saying that us MMA guys would dominate in the boxing. We wouldn't. That's your realm. But none of these guys, except for James Toney, shout out James Toney, even tried that shit. Could you imagine Devin Haney getting in there with Sean O'Malley doing MMA? Even after what we witnessed last night. Could you imagine Devin Haney against Merab Dvalishvili?
Oh no.
That's over in 10 seconds. That's fucking done.
Yes.
Right? Let's get who do you want in boxing? Deontay Wilder. He'd probably be a 205er in MMA. And let's not even take the top level guy at 205. Let's take like Alonzo Manifield. Alonzo Manifield skull fucks Deontay Wilder inside 5 minutes. No problem. No
The
fucking
same
problem.
thing said though in a boxing match.
For sure. But it's like which one is more complete combat? You telling me
Yes,
that I can
yes,
only like
absolutely. But
only
I
use my
can't.
two fists?
I can't look at. I can't discredit the accolades in another combat sport entirely. You know, I have to look
Well,
at
I'm not
like boxing is something completely different. You know, it's a sweet science as it's
right.
called. You know, there's a lot of intricacies to that. You know, you're only looking at the intricacies of MMA when talking about combat sports overall.
Well, I
But
just look at it
there's
like this because it's essentially ranking them over each other. Are you if you have two options and you have to fight each one of these options, which one are you sweating more? Floyd Mayweather or Habib Nurmagomedov?
mm, mm. Oh, that's a rough comparison though. You're taking somebody
Well,
who
I'm goats
okay.
from each. That's what I did. It was fair. They're around the same weight class.
that's that's not fair. That's
You're right, because Habib would fucking kill him, right? That's right. That's why I'm only using that's why
okay, but
because if Amanda Nunes gets Clarissa Shields down, she's dead. And Clarissa is gonna have to if we allow full MMA. Now, if they're boxing, then you're right, but I just feel like you handicap the fighter so much just letting them use two limbs. What are we doing? Are we who's the best fighter, not the best boxer?
I don't know. I feel like your comparison was shit because like you can't compare Floyd and
I might have made it unfair, but it wasn't shit.
it's a very
It was
unfair.
perfect.
No, it was shit. It was absolute shit. All right, here's a better comparison. Would you
All
rather
right, go ahead.
Magomed Ankalaev, Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson.
Prime. Oh, you're taking Prime Tyson?
Yeah,
Fuck you.
over
No,
Magomed. If I shoot on Tyson, I have a chance to get an ankle. If I shoot on Ankalaev, I'm fucked still.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Uh,
If I get on top of Prime Mike Tyson, I still like my odds.
that's
I'm not
fair.
getting on top of Prime Ankalaev. That's not happening, dude. That's not happening at all.
I'll give you that. But
Let's just move on to the main event. Like I don't even have anything to say at this point.
oh man. All I'm saying is combat sports athlete different than MMA. The goat's different in my eyes, at least. My Mount Rushmore for combat sports athlete is way different than my Mount Rushmore for MMA. So
Fair.
next, the main event. Merab Dvalishvili grabbed a hold of Sean O'Malley's neck in round 3 and wouldn't let go. Finished with a north-south choke. It was nasty, man. Merab did Merab, and Sean did everything he could to stop him. I got asked a lot today, like, what could Sean have done? Did Sean shit the bed? What was Sean's issue? A lot of questions like that. And here's the thing: you you can't really prepare truly for that level of wrestling. Somebody who's prepared to counter you 8 levels deep, you know. Marab's planning on you shutting down his first 8 transitions in the takedown, trying to get the takedown finish. He's expecting that. He has a counter to every little move you're going to do once he grabs a hold of you. And it shows. I mean, look at the fight with Cejudo. Cejudo was a lifelong wrestler. It took him his entire life to get those skills, and Marab made him look like an amateur. And Sean didn't have a lifetime to train for this fight. You know, he had a long time. And he did really well with what he had. He really did. He looked good. But Marab is a machine, and we saw Marab do Marab. What do you got, Will?
Dude, I think that Marab sapped his fucking gas tank in the first round, and Marab kind of took the first round off, I felt. I don't
Yeah.
know. Did anybody else feel like that? It was like Marab didn't take it off and give the round away, but it's not like he was in like third out of 5 gears, right? It was like he was steady 55 miles an hour down the highway, just kind of seeing what Sean O'Malley was offering. And Sean was at full effort. Sean was at full effort. There was a sequence, was it in the first, late in the first, or in the second round? I think it was the second round. O'Malley was against the fence and he defended like every takedown that Marab tried. He got out, circled to the center of the cage, and then he got picked up and chucked on his head. So I just think there's a level to Marab that no one thought was in there still. That guy, his name couldn't be more fitting. Like the machine. He's an absolute machine. His kickboxing got way better. He was dealing with Sean's stuff way better this time. In the beginning rounds of the first fight, he was still just trying to kind of figure it out. This time it looked like he just didn't care. He just fought his fight. Excuse me. Sean O'Malley's movement was cool, but I think it kind of fucked him because you can't, like Corey Sandhagen was saying, if you are committed to running around that much and not having your feet planted, then you're committed to giving away power for volume. And you can't sacrifice power for volume against Marab. Marlon Moraes literally shut Marab off in the middle of a fight, and Marab still came back and stopped him. That's not the guy that you're going to be able to just overwhelm with volume. He does not give a shit about that. He shot 61 times on Jose Aldo. Like, he's not going to quit coming forward. And I think that, one, O'Malley gave max effort from the first bell all the way to the end of the fight, and it got him more tired than he thought it was going to get him. I think the pressure got him again because it's hard to beat somebody one time, let alone the second time, especially when they kind of outclassed you because mentally that guy's just in your head. And Marab's level of improvement is just it's just so impressive that he himself widened the gap. You know, the gap was already so far in the first fight, and now he's made it wider. And it was close on some cards in the first. It went all 5 rounds. This time he just put it on Sean. Sean didn't have much to offer when they got all the way to the floor. And I honestly think that Sean was gassing, and he kind of gave way into Marab to kind of wrestle a leg to get up. I think that was the beginning and the end for Sean. And it looked like he had not much left in that gas tank. It was easy for him to tap once Marab got that neck. Now, I've been in that choke, that paperclip style north-south choke. It gets tight fast, and when his chin popped up, I'm sure that everything went quiet. I'm not calling Sean O'Malley a sissy by any means. That guy's fucking phenomenal. But, man, having a Marab hanging off your throat, it's a tough place to be. So, good job, Marab. That was crazy to watch.
Yeah. What do you got, George?
Man, like you guys said, his nickname is truly earned. He's relentless. His wrestling, again, just the ability to be a backpack on somebody, yet still be up. He doesn't press all of his weight on him so that whenever the person inadvertently tries to get up, he's ready for it to just stand right back up, put him right back down, and then go back to tearing up the body. I think that's kind of an under talked about wrinkle in his game because I feel like that's what really saps a lot of people and gets them, when it goes into deep water. Yeah, I mean, you do that for 15 minutes, it's like, holy shit. But the thing that's truly terrifying is, like you guys said, is he's evolving. He's not a one-trick pony. If he continues to work on his striking and get to the point to where he can go up against, say he goes up against Bilal, not saying he can out-grapple him, but somebody that's in his wheelhouse, somebody that's their, their game plan. him being able to anti-grapple, and then if he gets to where he can actually knock people out too, I mean, the sky's the limit for this guy. I don't see anybody right away it's going to take it. I think the thing that's going to take it from Barab is Father Time.
Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
I agree with that 100%. I think that's exactly what's going to be the one thing to take him down. All right.
Toughness and that wrestling's gonna just keep carrying that guy.
Yeah. Moving on to next week, UFC Fight Night, Usman versus Buckley in Atlanta, Georgia, the State Farm Arena. Starting off the card, we have a women's strawweight bout. Vanessa Demopoulos is fighting Jamie Lynn Horth. I'm going with Jamie Lynn Horth on this one. What do you got, Will?
Man, I'm either way. I could definitely see Jamie Lynn Horth knocking out Vanessa. But Jamie Lynn struggles on the ground, and Miranda Maverick had her on the ground to a unanimous decision in her last fight for the entirety of it. Demopoulos is not the best wrestler in the world, but for some reason, all her fights always end up on the floor, and she's just not good at putting people there. I don't know how she always ends up there. Jamie Lynn Horth, she does have bonehead moments. She will be winning and then take someone down and end up in their situation. So, you know what? I'm going Jamie Lynn Horth too. Fuck that. I think she knocks her out.
Okay. What do you got, George?
I learned my lesson last time. I'm not putting money on Demopoulos. We're gonna go ahead and
That's
say
where I was.
Hort's gonna be too busy just beating that ass.
Yep. All right. Next up at 170, we've got Phil Rowe fighting Anj Lusa. I'm going with Lusa on this one. What do you got, Will?
Man, I just don't like Anj Lusa, and I think Phil Rowe is due for a win. I think the Jake Matthews fight was closer than we thought it, or closer than a lot of people thought it was, and his jiu-jitsu is just next level, man. Anj Lusa is a very one-trick pony. Anj Lusa is the guy that quit against Brian Battle. You know, you're not going to go in there and give up against Phil Rowe and get out of that fight. So I think he's going to go in there. Phil Rowe is a black belt under Renzo Gracie. He oftentimes flies out and trains with Gordon Ryan and those guys at what's their team now? New Wave, right? Gordon Ryan's with New Wave now.
Yeah.
Definitely don't want to disrespect those guys. And he goes to Austin. He's one of the rare guys that also goes to like Austin and trains with the B team as well. So he's a real big name in the jiu-jitsu community as far as MMA guys go. And he's a real good guy in the MMA community. He really is a real good guy. Yeah, give me Phil Rowe, dude. I just think that Anj Lusa is going to quit, and I think Phil Rowe's going to exploit him.
Man, I think Rowe's arms are so long he could high five the ref from the other side of the cage. This is gonna be like watching a giraffe fight a pit bull. I'm gonna say Rowe by KO. I think Lusa's gonna run face first into a knee.
Really? Rowe by KO. Okay.
I don't know about that, but I'm picking Rowe.
Yeah, I like Phil Rowe. I think Lusa's gonna get it. I hope Phil gets it, but we'll see. Next up at bantamweight, we've got Charles Jourdain and Ricky Simone. This is gonna be a banger. This is a tough one for me. I like both these guys, but I can't go against Simone. I feel like hopefully Simone doesn't disappoint me. But this is gonna be a good fight regardless. What do you got, Will?
Yeah, I kind of knew that you were going to go Ricky Simone. I'm going Charles Air Jourdain. I think
No surprise.
being under Faraz Zahabi, I think him being with Ayman Zahabi, training with him every day, that culture of winning. George St. Pierre is at TriStar as a coach now. He cornered Eamon Zahabi. He's going to be in there cornering Charles Jourdain. Dude, Ricky Simone and his boys started their own gym, I believe, with Alexander, the great big fucking dork Hernandez, and those heathens. They're coaching themselves now. I just don't see them being able to find a game plan for Charles Jourdain when you have Faraz Zahabi and all those guys at TriStar working with you. Charles Jourdain is no slouch, man. He's got a great guillotine. He's got world-class kickboxing. He's a real good defensive wrestler, anti-wrestler. Jiu-jitsu's good. Faraz Zahabi, black belt. Charles Jourdain, by finish. I think Ricky fucks up. I think he gets strangled.
Ricky's at American Top Team in Portland, by the way.
I think they opened it together, though. I'm pretty sure. I think he's
it's an
yeah.
established one.
Okay, well, he's bounced around a lot because I just watched one of his fights in preparation for this last night, and it was talking about how he and two of his other guys were doing their own thing at that point in Colorado. So I'm glad he's somewhere established now.
Yeah, he's in Oregon with the GOAT, greatest to ever do it.
Chael Sonnen?
Chael P.
KLP,
Yeah.
all right.
Chael P's from that American Top Team.
I'm gonna go Ricky by decision because I think Jourdain might be showboating.
Okay.
I think Faraz would kick your ass if you showboated in the fight.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I
sure.
agree. All right, next up at 125, we've got Cody Durden fighting Jose Ochoa. This is kind of a pick'em. You know, we haven't really seen anything out of Ochoa except for losing to Loner Kavanaugh, and even that wasn't a bad loss for him. You know, I'm gonna go Cody Durden. What do you got, Will?
Well, Cody Durden's last 4 fights, he's 1-3. Going Ochoa. Cody Durden is always doing well until he's fucking not, man. He's like, I don't dislike Cody Durden. I want to be a freaking fan of him, and I want him to do well all the time, but he's just another one of those guys that it's like their fight IQ could be better. You know, it could be better. In situations, he does silly things, but I am a fan of Cody Durden. I just think Ochoa is going to go out there and get it done.
Ochoa. Okay. Well, the Georges has disappeared on me.
I'm still here, sir.
Oh, okay. Georges, what do you have on this one?
Yeah, I think Ochoa just I agree with Will on it. I just think that
Sure.
Cody's I don't know. I don't think he's gonna turn around on him.
That's reasonable. I'm excited about this next fight. The UFC did us a favor and they brought Chris Monteiro back. Thank the heavens. I don't know why the hell they cut that man. He took a short notice fight against Sean O'Malley and got beat up. Okay. And then you cut him? That was supposed to happen. Anyways,
he lost. He got beat up the fight after that too.
Yeah, but not that bad. Not as bad as the. I don't know. I think he had
It
hope.
says KO, so pretty bad.
He got KO? No.
Yeah, it says KO. I'm reading the thing. He got slept.
Standing TKO.
Round 1.
Standing TKO.
Whatever. Round 1. Round 1.
Yeah,
2 minutes
he
in.
He didn't get slept. They stopped the fight standing. Same thing. They stopped the fight standing like they did against the O'Malley fight. They're stopping his fights too early. The man's still up. What are you doing? I don't know.
All right.
I'm going Wellmaker though. All that to say, I'm going with Malcolm Wellmaker. So, what do you got, Will?
Oh shit.
Oh, also, I'm
Motino's
going
got
with
5
Wellmaker by
fights by
TKO.
finish. Oh yeah, probably. Mutino has 5 fights, 5 finishes since being cut by the UFC. The dude, he's famous for being a punching bag for Sean O'Malley on late notice. He was a kickboxing coach. They called him up. Fight fell through. Do you want to fight Sean O'Malley? Dude's got balls you can't fit in a wheelbarrow, so he stepped up and got beat on for the whole time. But you know what? He took 2 losses in the biggest promotion in the world, went and found himself 5 more fights after that and got 5 finishes. There's not much else you can do to atone for something like that. I think Wellmaker is a generational talent. George and I saw him live. He's just so in the moment. He's so unaffected by pressure. He does not give a shit if you run into his space because he can strike right, left-handed. His jiu-jitsu's solid. He comes from George Masvidal's MMA promotion. Not his bare knuckle MMA promotion, but a small promotion he runs in Atlanta, Georgia, that travels through Florida as well. He was a champ for George Masvidal. I just think Wellmaker has too many tools. He works his ass off every day. And, I'm not taking anything from Moutinho. We know he does, but Wellmaker is a fucking giant for bantamweight. 5'10", 135, not an ounce of fat on that boy. Moutinho's not small for the weight, but he definitely gets dwarfed by Wellmaker. Moutinho's going to be in that southpaw stance coming out, trying to pressure him early, and that's going to be his downfall. All it takes is one fuck up, and Wellmaker's going to put his face on the other side of his head. I'm going Wellmaker. Not TKO, flush KO, first time in Moutinho's career. Flush out, stiff as a board, looking like Plank from Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Oh my God. Wow. What do you think, George? You think he's gonna flatline him?
Yeah, I think your boy Chris takes too many punches like a sponge, and I think
Yes.
that's Malcolm is not the dude that you want to absorb punches from. You need distance, or you need to get it to the ground and hope that you can, get a dominant position, maybe pull a Kayla Harrison type win, maybe get a ground TKO, but you're not gonna I don't know. I think that his jiu-jitsu is good too, to the point that if it goes to the ground, you're probably not gonna win there either. So yeah. I just think
Over.
he's gonna overwhelm him.
I'm excited for it for sure. Next up at 170, we've got Court McGee versus Michael. Don't talk about my mom, Chiesa.
Did you
This
ever
is
talk about my mom?
this is a tough one for me. I like both these guys. They're both veterans. I mean, they're both long-time veterans.
It's a Spider-Man meme
Yeah.
where they're
I think I've seen better out of Court McGee than I've seen out of Chiesa. I've also seen worse out of Court McGee than I've seen out of Chiesa, but I really like the better parts that I've seen. Like Court McGee has a split decision win over Bobby Knuckles. That's crazy. Yeah.
that's a good one.
So, I like what I've seen from Court McGee. I think Court McGee is probably going to get it done, but we'll see. I think it's going to go to decision though. This is a tough fight for both these guys. What do you got, Will?
I don't think that he's going to be able to submit Court McGee. Michael Chiesa is not going to be able to submit Court McGee, and I don't think he's like a way more dynamic striker than Court McGee either. I see this being like for the first round, really high paced grappling exchanges, and then in the second round it starts to die down because they're 37 and 40 years old, and then in the third round, a snooze fest slash slugfest because neither one could get the other one down. They're going to cancel out each other's wrestling. So it'll be labeled a barn burner, but it'll be two geriatrics chucking bricks at each other's faces. I'm going Court McGee.
Yes. What do you got, George?
This is like grandpa MMA at its finest. If you like, you know, a good plotting style, a nice grinder of a fight, then this is for you. These guys are probably gonna warm up over at the VFW in the morning, enjoy that free breakfast, talk about the good old days. I'm gonna give it to Mike Chiesa. I just think he's too stubborn to tap early.
Okay. Okay. Giving it to Chiesa. Okay. Next up is a interesting one. At 205, we've got Paul Craig versus Adolfo Bellato. I like Paul Craig. I really do. I think I'm going with Adolfo, though. I think Adolfo is going to be a little difficult for Paul to get down, and Adolfo's only ever shown a problem dealing with somebody who's a better striker than him. And he's a pretty good striker in his own. So I'm going with Adolfo. What do you got, Will?
Yeah, you know, every time Paul Craig's back's against the wall, he does something sensational. So I'm going with Paul
You're right.
Craig, knowing full well Adolfo Bellato can put his fucking chin into orbit and probably will. Also, their last fight was pulled because Bellato had a herpes flare up. So
Yeah.
that's fucking not cool. Craig, I don't know, Paul. I don't know that I would accept a contract from a guy who had a herpes flare up. So you're a ballsy dude. Yeah, just hoping that Paul Craig pulls it off. So
That's a good day.
that's all I got with that.
Yeah. What do you got, George?
Oh man, Bellato's gonna wish he brought a hazmat suit for how bad Craig's gonna try to grab onto him. He's gonna try to get the stink on him. This is gonna be like watching a bear.
Probably won't. Yeah, herpes.
This is gonna be like watching a bear trap fight a sledgehammer. I'm gonna say Bellato.
That's a good analogy.
The only thing that Craig's got on this is if he by chance catches that triangle. And I don't think you can catch a triangle when you're being punched in the face, backpedaling towards the fence.
That's how he caught it against Ankalaev. He's getting punched in his shit.
Oh, man. Okay, next up, another 205er. Alonzo Menafield and Umar Sai. Is that another tough one? I think I'm going with Alonzo. I just don't know this Umar well enough, and I haven't seen enough out of him. I've seen a lot out of Alonzo. I've seen what a problem Alonzo Menafield can be. Atomic is a good nickname on him. What do you think?
I don't trust Alonzo Menafield. Anytime he's in a situation where he's supposed to smash a dude, he gets knocked the fuck out or something silly happens. He was supposed to run right through Carlos Ulberg, runs across the cage, decides to throw 4 punches, and Ulberg makes the dude wake up in the back. I just don't trust him. He's coached by guys that I really like, you know, Pat Barry, Trevor Whitman, all those guys. I love those people. I love that camp. Sometimes you can give a guy all the information in the world, all the coaching in the world, and they just aren't catching up to it, right? I think that's the case with Alonzo Menafield. And I just, like I said, I don't trust him. I'm going Umar. And I don't even know who the hell this dude is. He's 29 years old, undefeated. He's out of France. I'm rolling the dice. Alonzo Menafield is a lot like the Cubs in the late 90s, and they're really good at choking when they're supposed to win.
Damn. All right. What do you got, George?
Kerry Wood.
I, Menifield's fists hit harder than a bad breakup, but Sai's slick enough to dance around him like he's in a ballroom. This is gonna be a banger unless they both gas out. I'm gonna say Menefield by KO because Sai's chin ain't been tested by a sledgehammer yet.
Okay, I like
Damn.
it. That was the first fight on the main card, by the way. Next up at 185, we have Cody Brundage versus Mansur Abdul Malik. I got to go with Mansur on this one, man. Mansur by KO. Although I'm pretty sure if you check history on this show, every time I've said somebody by KO, I'm pretty sure they went decision. But that's just me thinking that.
Dude.
I don't know. What do you got on that one, Will?
Oh man, here's my gentle reminder that Patchy Mix cost me $3,000. But anyway, I'm going Abdul Malik as well, dude. Cody Brundage is one of those dudes. I would have picked the perfect card had Patchy Mix fucking won. Anyway, Cody Brundage. I don't trust him. He comes from a great camp. He is a Factory X guy. He's got all the guys his size to train with. He's got the talent. He's got the wrestling pedigree. What he doesn't have is the ability to make it happen in the fucking moment, dude. He struggles with that. He feels pressure a lot. He fought Juan Marquez, slept his ass in the last fight, but he's dealing with a different type of animal here in Abdul Malik. Abdul Malik is one of those guys who's got natural power, got that touch of death. He knows where to stand. His feet are never in the wrong place. He deals with these kind of big sluggers well, dude. I just look for Cody Brundage to be asleep before the end of the second round.
Okay. What do you got, George?
I think Abdul Malik's coming in like he's got a point to prove, and Brundage is going to eat these punches like they're breakfast tacos. This is the rookie stealing the vet's lunch money. Prediction: Malik by TKO because Brundage's chin is on borrowed time like the rent.
Yeah.
Yes. Next up at 135, Rony Barcelos is fighting Cody No Love Garbrandt. I got to go with No Love on this one. I think No Love's going to get it done, and I think No Love is going to get it done with a finish. I think we're seeing a TKO. As long as he can make weight and he looks good after he rehydrates. You know? This
Yeah.
is this is at bantamweight, which isn't he was normally in bantamweight, so
Yeah.
he should be fine at bantamweight actually.
Yep.
Yeah. I think he'll be fine. I think Cody is gonna get this one done. I hope we see something we used to like out of Cody. You know. What do you got on this one, Will?
Yep. Well, he said he suffered from vertigo against Davison Figueiredo, and I believed him. He wasn't moving like he normally moves. He was on a resurgence before that fight. We all know if Cody Garbrandt shows up on point, in shape, and healthy, that he's hell on wheels, and his boxing's probably the best in the lighter weight classes in the UFC. And that's no bullshit, man. He can find every angle. He can find every shot. He knows every punch. He's great at setting them all up. Look up his knockout against Rafael Assunção. He's just always been feast or famine. He's either been on fire or it's not been his night in a bad way. Rony Barcelos is 38 years old. He's a grinder, but I think that Father Time is catching up to him. He got Peyton Talbot out of there with a decision the last fight, his last fight, but Peyton Talbot was coming back in the third, and when you let Peyton Talbot come back on you in the third, Cody Garbrandt's a guy that can sleep you in the later rounds just as easily as he can in the first. I'm rooting for a vintage Cody Garbrandt display. I hope it happens. Much love to the man. Go get it done. No love.
Well, not only that, you're not gonna grapple Cody Garbrandt like he did Peyton Talbot.
0% chance.
Cody's a great wrestler.
For sure.
What do you got on that one, George?
Absolutely.
I think the wrestling is going to get him in trouble. I think he's going to get in a dominant position, and I think Barcelos is going to catch him slipping with
Ooh.
a sneaky tap.
Okay. Okay. All right. I don't even want to
Ooh.
discuss that. I just want to wait and see. Yeah,
The jiu-jitsu hater predicting jiu-jitsu.
I know. I like it. I like it. Next up at 185, Edmund Shabaznian fighting Andre Petrosky. I got to go with Petrosky on this one as long as he doesn't sleep himself off of Shabaznian's hip. What do you got, Will? I wish I was fucking around, but he
Yeah, same.
literally
Shabazzian.
headbutted a hip, so
No, he
and
did
then
that.
lost the fight.
Yeah. Shabazzian's doing that thing that we don't want Kevin Holland to do. He should not be in there with Andre Petrosky, at least not right now. His grappling's not on the level of Petrosky's grappling. Excuse me. He is far and wide a better striker, though. It's not even close. If Petrosky stands with Shabazzian, he gets finished.
Oh no.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
He's not of the same caliber with the striking. He does have big power, but Edmund trains at Extreme Couture. He trains with those guys like Sean Strickland, Dominic Reyes. I mean, he's no slouch to being in there with gunslingers. Petrosky, if he doesn't, like I said, if he doesn't get to the floor, he's not going to have a very good time. I think he knows that. He trains with those guys, Sean Brady, Joe Pfeiffer, all those dudes at Marquez MMA. He's going to be looking for the takedown, I feel. He's not going to Joe Pfeiffer it. If he can get that done, he can win. But I don't see him winning on the feet. I'm taking the upset. I'm taking Edmund Shabazzian.
Okay. Okay. What do you got, George?
I think Shabazzian's going to try to knock Petrosky's head into the cheap seats, but Andre's going to hug him tighter than a clingy X. It's going to be like watching a boxer fight an octopus. I think Petrosky by decision because Shabazzian's gas tank is going to be running on fumes.
Okay. All right. All right. I think Petrosky might get the finish. But anyways, we'll find out. Next up, our co-main event, women's flyweight, 125. We have the return of Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. I like what I've seen out of Miranda Maverick. I'm just a big Rose fan. Thug Rose always has a special place in my heart. Coming watching her all the way coming up from the Ultimate Fighter. All the people I've watched get to the title from the Ultimate Fighter, they hold that special spot. It's like you grew up with them. You feel like so. Hopefully Rose gets it done. Hopefully we see the return of old school Rose. I'm going with Rose on this one. She had a tough fight in her last one. She had some good ones before that, and then a few bad ones. Let's see. What do you got, Will? Will talking?
Did he mute it again?
I think he muted it again. Oh my gosh.
It's on the slide here. My hand keeps hitting it.
Jeez.
So I don't think Rose gets it done, guys. I think that she's struggling here at the tail end of her career with the grappling stuff. And Miranda Maverick is the next level of grappler coming up in that division. She doesn't have the jiu-jitsu prowess, but it's all that wrestling. She's going to have her on her back a lot. If Rose could keep it standing, she could definitely outclass Miranda Maverick in every single aspect of the striking game. I just don't think she's going to be able to keep her off her. Miranda's too big, too strong. Wrestling's too good. I think we see Rose take an L.
I hate that take, but that's a fair take. What do you got, George?
Man, Thug Rose Namajunas has not looked thugnificent in recent times. And
Damn.
Miranda Maverick, if we're going to go with the Maverick call sign, then we'll just go ahead and go with the Top Gun analogy. I think Miranda Maverick is going to tell Rose she could be her wingman anytime. and just son and daughter are in this one. I just think that Rose's technical striking's good, but the old head's about to meet the new kids on the block, and I think Miranda's getting on her way to the top now.
Yeah, I think she's on her way, but we'll see. We'll see what Rose shows up. You know,
Oh my
I'm hopeful.
goodness.
Yes,
I
the main
cannot wait
event.
for the Bruce Buffer call out for this one.
The main event.
Oh man,
170
I can't believe
welterweight
this is a free
division.
fight.
Right?
Oh shit.
Kamaru Usman fighting Joaquin Buckley. I heard Joaquin Buckley better not back up. I heard Kamaru Usman said he's coming all night long. I
Hmm.
this is a tough one. I think Kamaru gets it done. Um, but we haven't seen much out of Kamaru, you know, since the Hamzat fight actually was the last time we saw him, and that was 2023. So, yeah. But Kamaru's still one of the best ever at welterweight, and I think he has an answer for Joaquin Buckley. I think if he grabs a hold of Buckley, that's an answer right there. But I think he probably has some other tricks up his sleeve. So I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm taking Kamaru Usman in this one, though. What do you got, Will?
Me being a massive Kamaru Usman fan throughout the entirety of his career, it pains me to say this, but I think the knees are gone. He has been off extended time because of injuries, and that's openly the reason he's always talking about being hurt. Joaquin Buckley's been active, as you alluded. Usman he fought last in 2023. The rhythm's not going to be there. I know he's got Trevor Whitman. I know he's got the Justin Gaethjes in the world. But I just think that momentum is everything. Joaquin Buckley is absolutely on fire. I think Buckley doesn't get him out of there. I don't think he finishes Kamaru, but I think he beats up Kamaru for the majority of this fight. I don't think Kamaru gets him down. I think Kamaru tries to sleep him, and the youthfulness and the athleticism of Joaquin Buckley starts to shine. And yeah, it's going to make it not a short night for Kamaru, but a very long night for Kamaru Usman. Joaquin Buckley is at the B team doing jiu-jitsu with, Nicky Rod all the time when so I just don't see
Yeah.
a path that's going to be pleasant for Kamaru. So
Okay. All right.
that's what I got.
What do you got, George?
Man, this card to me is kind of like a buffet of violence, and this is like the good stuff. This is like the Tarasco beef. This is the Brazilian style stuff. This is the Wagyu. Um, Free fight, huh? I think that Kamaru is, like you guys said, just he's over the hill. I think that he's gonna try to shoot, and I think Buckley's gonna catch him. And it's gonna happen at any moment. And I think that basically this is an audition for a title shot for Joaquin.
Yeah.
And I think the kid's gonna seize that moment, especially at home. You got the Mandela effect, you got the Coriolis effect, you got all that, but you also got the hometown effect. And I think he's gonna go out there and be like murdering.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, though. So that is next weekend's fight. UFC Fight Night. This is on ESPN Plus. Usman versus Buckley in Atlanta at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Next up, I want to not recap, run through the results of one Fight Night 32, Nakrab versus Jiao Suyai. So starting off, we had a catchweight Muay Thai bout at 140, where Tagir Kolalov defeated Liao Shizu via unanimous decision. Next up, we had a lightweight MMA bout where Dzabarov defeated Nicholas Vigna via TKO in round 1. Next up, a featherweight Muay Thai bout where Arian Esparza defeated Ricardo Brava via unanimous decision. Then we had a featherweight MMA bout where Ibrahim Daouf defeated Magomed Akov via split decision. Then we had a flyweight Muay Thai bout where Heiki Naito defeated Johan Estupinan via majority decision. Then we had a flyweight Muay Thai bout where Diego Paez defeated Johan Ghazali via split decision. Then we had a strawweight Muay Thai bout where Alif Sor Dichapan defeated Elmadi El Jamari via unanimous decision. Then our main event, Jasuyai Morkuntham defeated Nakrab Fairtex via KO in round 1. And that is one Fight Night 32. So that is all I really have aside from this Friday. We'll be doing some mixed martial interviews. We'll have Kyle Camarano. Kyle is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the head Jiu-Jitsu coach of Integrity in Carrollton, Georgia. Do you guys have anything you want to throw on? Oh, by the way, that's at 8 p.m.
Well, this week we don't have one, but 2 mixed martial interviews. We have professional mixed martial artist Darian Pageant. He is 3-0. He fights out of Indianapolis, Indiana. He fights out of Indie Boxing and Grappling in Indianapolis. He will be headlining the main event in RUF 63 in Phoenix, Arizona. In his last 2 fights, he has 2 finishes, 1 sub, 1 KO. I've had the personal chance to train with this guy at our old location. Great guy, really great athlete, humble dude. He can train with the best, hardest fighters in the gym, the guys that throw the biggest shots, and he can train with the first day guys. He was training with our 16, 17-year-old kids when he came in there, and he was totally respectful, very helpful. We got to spar each other a little bit. Super talented guy. You guys will enjoy him. Tuesday at 8 p.m. So tune in for that, guys. We ain't going nowhere. We're here to rock with y'all. Also, that is barring we don't have Willow by then. So Baby Girl will be here no later than Wednesday. I may or may not be home in time to be here for next Sunday's episode. If I'm not here, these guys will be more than capable of taking care of it. Until then, love y'all. I am Coach Will. You know these idiots. I think this is all we had tonight, right?
This is it. This is all we had.